What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So as I'm sure most of you know, today Apple held their keynote event where after essentially a year of non-stop rumors and leaks, they finally unveiled the new iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. These phones pack a fair amount of upgrades and changes. Apple outlined 10 of them during their keynote, so here are 10 of the biggest new features on Apple's newest flagship phones. Let's start off with design. Now at first glance, you'll notice there isn't much of a difference here. We still get that all aluminum housing that's been on the iPhone 6 and 6S the last couple of years. Not a bad design at all, but a lot of people had some issues with the antenna lines. So Apple moved those to the top and bottom edges for a cleaner and more streamlined look. Apple also added 2 new colors this year for the iPhone lineup. Space gray has been replaced by a simple black color, and Apple also introduced what they're calling jet black, which is a deep polished black similar to what we had a number of years ago with the iPhone 3G. A pretty big change that wasn't rumored until the last minute was essentially the removal of the physical home button. Instead of an actual button that can be pressed, the home button on the iPhone 7 has a similar feel to the trackpad on the MacBook. It isn't a button, but when you press it, you get what Apple calls taptic feedback, a little vibration that feels like a click when you press down on it. After so many years with the home button, I'm definitely interested in trying this out and seeing how different it might feel. Long overdue for Apple, the iPhone 7 is now dust and water resistant with an IP67 certification. This is something Apple has always been behind on, obviously, with phones like the Samsung Galaxy line having this feature for a number of years, but a big step in the right direction and a highly anticipated feature. You can now worry a little less about spilling something on your new iPhone. Both the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus saw significant improvements to both the front and rear facing cameras. The iPhone 7 has a new 12 megapixel rear camera with an f1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization, which previously was only available on the Plus model. Just like the rumors and leaks predicted, the iPhone 7 Plus has a dual camera design. 2 12 megapixel cameras around back, which includes a wide angle and telephoto lens, and we'll also see some DSLR bokeh and shallow depth of field via a software update later this year. And finally, after many years of being stuck with the same old potato quality front camera, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus pack a new 7 megapixel front facing camera for all of your selfie goodness. Unfortunately, the screens on the new iPhones saw only a minimal change. We have the same resolution we've had for the last couple years, the only difference being that the screen is now 25% brighter with a wider color gamut. In theory, your screen should look brighter and be able to display a lot more colors, but we probably would have liked to see Apple bump up the overall resolution. Maybe next year. Stereo speakers are now a thing for the iPhone, but not in the way we originally thought. You get one speaker on the bottom of the phone and one on the top of the phone for essentially 2 times louder sound than the iPhone 6S. And speaking of sound, just like everyone expected, the 3.5mm headphone jack is gone from the new iPhone. Apple said that removing the headphone jack was essential for water resistance, and Apple is hooking you up with a new pair of Lightning earbuds and a Lightning to 3.5mm adapter that are all included in the box when you purchase the new iPhone. Of course, if wired earphones are not your thing, Apple also unveiled something brand new, AirPods, completely wireless earpods that will be available in October for $159. And these are something I'm particularly excited about. Apple Pay is also now more widely supported, something cool if you've been waiting on that to arrive near you. And finally, of course, we have all of the internal specs. With a new iPhone, we have an all-new processor, the A10 Fusion, which is a 64-bit quad-core processor where 2 of the cores are used strictly in low power and low processing situations to help with battery life. We'll also see 3 times faster graphics as well, and the iPhone 7 should be up to 2 times faster than the iPhone 6S while being even more efficient and using up less battery. Speaking of battery, Apple says that we can expect 2 more hours of use on the iPhone 7 compared to the 6S, and 1 more hour of use on the 7 Plus compared to the 6S Plus. And finally, no more 16GB model. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus come in 32, 128, and 256GB models, so I no longer have to suffer with 16 gigs and that stupid "you're almost out of storage" notification. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus will be available for pre-order this Friday and in stores next Friday, September 16th, with pricing remaining essentially the same from the 6S and 6S Plus. $649, $749, and $849 for the 7, and $769, $869, and $969 for the 7 Plus. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this overview of the new iPhone 7. Definitely let me know what you guys think of the new phones in the comments below and if you'll be picking one up. Of course, be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.